We've spent several weeks rebuilding and redesigning our ugly carport since it lost its roof in a storm. Check out our previous videos in this series if you want to see where we started. Now, almost without spending a penny, we finally have a roofed structure again, and a much nicer one at that, but we think it could be so much more with the addition of doors and windows. So, last week we headed out to see what some of the local salvage yards might have to offer people on a tight budget. Keep watching to see what we found.
Hi, I'm Cameron. This is Stina, that's Suki, and that's Bramble. We moved 200 miles to the south of Scotland to take a chance on a life that we wanted to live. We're slowly building our dream, doing as much as we can ourselves and repurposing where possible to save money and reduce waste. Welcome to Bramble Cottage.
We're pretty new to living in southwest Scotland, so we're still finding our feet and working out what gems exist in this area. So, on one of the first truly sunny days this spring, we decided to take a little road trip over the border into England and see what salvage yards we might find in and around Carlisle. This place, called Rebuild, is the first one we happened across, and it's amazing. They collect surplus and second-hand tools and construction items and sell them on at unusually affordable prices. They even offer a tool library. Their ethos is centred around reuse and cultivation of a circular economy. We'll include a link to their website in the description, as they have this site in Carlisle and an associated project in Wolverhampton, and it looks like they hope to expand if they get enough support. So, one thing that is not included in our carport design is a tiny bay window. But look at this thing, we couldn't resist. All the staff at Rebuild recognised this piece as we left with it. They'd been waiting for someone to come along with the right project in mind, so now we'll just have to work out how we're going to add this dinky little window into our design. We visited another 2 places and spied a couple of other potential finds on that first trip out, but sadly our adventure was curtailed when the engine light came on our car. We decided to hightail it back home rather than risk getting stranded in the Lake District, but we promised ourselves we'd return once the car was in better shape.
Right, we're back. I've been collecting some of this wood together, which is all like shiplap, which I'm going to use to try and clad various areas of it. Places like up into the gables there, a little bit on the back wall right in the middle there. There's a little view of all of the wood. We're looking to get a couple of like reclaimed windows for this side, and similarly some doors for this side, so we can actually get the car in. And then I'm going to try and get that gable end filled in as well. It's all a little bit awkward, but I think we can make it all fit. Progress has been pretty darn quick, not a big problem here, until we get to this. This girder's sticking out a little bit, which kind of makes it difficult to work around. But my feeling is I am going to work around it, so I'm going to leave a little bit of the gird sticking out and work out what to do with that later. Yeah, that bottom edge slopes away a little bit. Maybe next time I should try a spirit level. Finally, I'm getting to cut some framing around this front side to hide the steel, but also give me something to fix the panelling along the carport side to. At this point I wanted to fit some wooden frame into the far back corner too, but unlike the steel posts at the front, this one has no pre-drilled holes, so I'll have to drill my own. And progress is slow. Time to show you something else for a bit.
Remember that bay window we found? Well, here's the view into Bramble Cottage from the road, and this blank shed wall does the entrance view no favours. So imagine if we found a way to add this in here. It would also bring more light into the shed, which is a cave of dark dinginess most of the time.
Right, back to that drilling. Let's see how it's going. Almost done. Panelling the side of the carport will leave this narrow alleyway down the back of the carport and shed. Our idea is that we'll build a rack on the back of the carport wall, and this space will then become the new storage for all our rough bits of wood amongst other things. We're starting the walls slightly off the ground for now, so that we can figure out what to do about the ground itself further into the future. Ideally we'd like to replace the gravel with something more flat and solid, but that isn't an option for us right now. That's the 3 uprights achieved. Time to put some shiplap on it. Because nothing about this structure is particularly even or square, I'm starting with a perfectly level panel in the middle, and will then build both up and down from there. Right, day 2. We've got this gable end all done, but I don't like it. It isn't very level, so I'm going to take that down and have another go at that. And we've actually got some of the back wall up and going now. There you go, as you can see that's sort of been flying up, so that's dead easy. No problem at all. But yeah, like I say, this isn't exactly level. With the wooden framing going up nicely and some of the back wall being filled in the gable end, it's starting to look like a nice attractive wooden structure. This gable end is one of the trickiest bits. A tiny section to cover but awkward to get at, and there's a gap in through the ceiling of the shed below, so some of the extended flashing will be needed to fully waterproof everything. For the flashing, I intend to try and use more of this barge plate that came from the front of the original ugly carport. Using it inside out, the existing fold will help a bit to bridge the gap I need to cover. Now for an exciting bit for me. After the storm destroyed the original roof, a fuse box for the external electrics became exposed to the weather due to the gap in the shed roof. So we had to cut the electrics to the carport, the shed, our porch, and all our outside areas. Now that I've finally patched up that bit of roof, I can begin reinstalling some of the electrics and we can stop blundering about in the dark. The first step will be this outdoor socket, which we picked up almost free at a farm clearance. But look, it's all in mint condition inside the box. To help with the power tools I'm using, I'm fixing it to the side of the carport temporarily for now, and then we won't have to keep running cables through the window to the main house. The house is cold enough without losing extra heat. I would have actually shown me wiring this up fully, however, sadly lost a little bit of footage due to our cameras being a little bit cheap. I asked Dina to reinstate the power to the external circuit whilst I checked to make sure everything was working as it should. Success! First up, in a murky corner of this salvage yard we found 3 identical and moth-eaten doors, £10 each. With the herringbone pattern we concluded they might look like an attractive traditional barn door if we somehow join them together. Well, that is the doors. That's the doors loaded in. What fun. And then it was time to return to the incredible rebuild site where we'd seen a stash of sash windows stowed out of reach. Of all the places we visited, it was by far the best window we saw for our design. Only £45. Join us in the next video to find out if we worked out how to fashion a trifold barn door out of 3 really heavy front doors, and how we end up using a sash window sideways, which we're going to have to figure out as we go along. If you're enjoying this project, you can also check out our Ugly Carport Makeover playlist.